Okay, we're on to the radio read meters.
Okay. Take a look at page 7. So we talked, Tony, we talked at the last meeting about technology and where the state of the technology is, and is this an up-to-date system that we would be looking at. And as we get into this more, you know, it's pretty apparent that this is not necessarily the cutting-edge stuff, but it is what people, by and large, are using. And the other real important note is that this is the basis from which things can be upgraded. So anything that we would be purchasing now as far as meters would be able to be upgraded to the second type of the system. The second type of the system being a fixed base radio read type of the system. So say the company would put a fixed base receiver on the water tower, and the water tower then it would be able to receive radio read from the water meters and electric meters basically anywhere in town and around the lake. And that probably doesn't address our rural line situation. But there's some different technologies that can happen when you go to a fixed base system, and then it's things like you can do immediate reading, so you can do time of day pricing. You know, if we thought we wanted to do time of day pricing at some point. It can help out with some load control issues. And also it becomes kind of the backbone of some of those whole house electronic automation deals, where if you want your house, you want to be able to dim the lights from your cell phone. This works within that system somehow that can help you do that. Now, having said that, the costs are substantially more. Said it was about $50,000 to purchase the software or a monthly maintenance fee of $1,500. Yeah, I guess we just know that this is out there as an option. I wouldn't suggest that we would want to do this right now. Because, again, the main point is if we were to buy meters, the meters themselves can be upgraded to this different type of reading system. And I guess when I say upgraded, you don't do anything to the meters. You put in the new receiving system, and it would automatically roll into the new system. So as we look at the costs and the financing issues here, these are the same numbers that we had at the council meeting last time, where the electric was about $82,000, water meters, including installation, were about $236,000. Okay, but we had talked a little bit about what could be some potential options for financing. So I laid out just a couple options there for financing. If we were to say, let's go ahead and make the decision, we need to make a go, no-go decision on this water meter issue, and if we said, yep, we want to start, but we want to start small, and we're going to do this 50 meters. Okay, and when we priced that out, it was $17,000 to purchase the system and get the 50 meters. We do have funds available for that. It'd be through sales tax, if we wanted to do that. I would also then contend we certainly could earmark $10,000 from sales tax on an annual basis to continue to get more and more meters. But then if we look at option number 2, purchase the handheld and 50 meters now. Okay, go ahead and issue debt for the remaining meters. Okay, and this is issuing debt for the water meters. We would assume we do something with either cash on hand or as part of that larger FEMA project for the electric portion. Okay, but if the city had to issue $223,000 in water debt, the average repayment cost per year over 10 years was $27,000. Okay, the increased water sales, even if we just looked at a 10% reduction in water loss, was $23,200 per year. And again, the city could devote some funds from sales tax. I proposed $10,000, and that would be enough to fully cover the annual cost of the debt service. Third option would be to then also apply for state revolving loan fund. And they have offered this 20% loan forgiveness for green projects, and this is considered to be a green or energy efficiency project. Okay? So if we wanted to apply for SRF, due dates are upcoming ones are June 1st to September 1st. Okay, so if the city received that 20% credit, the debt would be $178,000 as opposed to $223,000. So here's an option as far as implementation if we decided that we wanted to do something. Immediately solicit bids from vendors, and as you look at the next couple pages, there's a suggested bid document. So basically during the month of May we would seek bids. At the June 6th council meeting, council can consider those bids and make a decision about where we really wanted to go with the project. And if the answer is we decided that we really don't want to go anywhere, at least we've made that decision. I would tell you we need to make a decision on this in the near term, if for no other reason than we need to be replacing some water meters. And if it's still going to be traditional reed water meters, we can go down that path, but we need to be doing some replacement here. But if we decided that we wanted to go ahead, in June we go ahead and purchase that handout in the 50 water meters using sales tax fund. We'd go ahead and apply for that state revolving loan fund. And then in fall, we go ahead and purchase all those electric meters. And that would, again, either be within that debt issuance for FEMA or using cash. During the winter, if the city would be awarded that SRF, we would go ahead and purchase the remainder of the water meters with repayment to occur through sales tax and revenue from the increased water sales. Same thing if the city would not be funded for SRF, that the debt could still be paid off through sales tax and revenue from increased water sales. But I guess there it is. If this is something that we really wanted to proceed with, it's feasible that we could do that.
So what is it going to cost to get them installed? Because I don't even imagine we're going to even scratch the surface of the 50 with our own people, are we?
No, this figured $40 a unit to have the water meters
so
installed.
that's some contract.
That is having a person contracted that. Yes. Yeah, that's been kind of...
Just on the water, but what about the electric?
We would have our guys install all the electric.
Just a form option.
What do they do with the old ones? Disposal fee on those or anything?
No. On the electric meters, some folks actually go on an old electromechanical meter. We may be able to even sell some of those, I'm sure not for much value. But other than that, it's just scrap. And there's no disposal fee for that. No hazardous disposal fee, I guess. On the water meter side of things, there's some metal involved with that. We may even get a little payment for hundreds of those. The way it adds up.
Okay, I'm just thinking of what, I don't think we should do it. I just don't think we should do it.
Time to get time.
We don't got the money.
Here's my thinking on this, and I come from a company that's on the cutting edge of all the newest, latest gadget and this kind of thing. I come from an old school too. I go back to Tim's point, we're not really going to save anything on labor, because we don't plan on laying anybody off. We're not going to try to make an increase of saving money in that. I realize it takes some time and effort to have our employees go around and read the meters. There again, I go back to the old school. In my business, we had the pre-trip, post-trip inspections on our trucks. What is wrong with having our employees walking into somebody's backyard not only to read meters, but to check things out. I'm not trying to be the big brother here overlooking everything, but is there any preventative issues that could happen there? My other thing is that if we save, how many days did you say that we would cost our employees? About 9?
About 9 days,
A
a
month.
month.
Okay. We've got this FEMA thing hanging over our heads that's gonna come, that's gonna be a chunk of change that we're gonna have to come up with. And I'm not against replacing these meters that need to be replaced, but going high tech right now, I don't feel confident that this is the stuff that's gonna be the same in 3 years from now. As much as I see changing in my business that I work for, that's always something new. I agree with the fact that it would be a good thing, but to me, I think we get a better feel of what our community is doing by going to the homes. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
Yeah, I mean, it does, it's just, there's nothing that I feel, I know everybody's kind of got their own little soapboxes about what they see people doing or not doing that drives them crazy. That drives me crazy. When I see, our talented, long-tenured senior people walking door to door around the lake, just makes me crazy thinking about what they could be doing if they weren't doing that. And they're not really, it'd be different if they were running into people and having an opportunity to talk with people and just, touch base, whatever, but they're not. Nobody ever talks to them or sees them, I'm sure people...
I'm not supposed to say
But
that
yet that does happen.
Well, okay, so it'll take them longer, but...
So it takes them longer, that's...
But, there's nothing wrong with
the
that, but I know what you're saying, could there be, a leak or, misuse or, misappropriation somehow or whatever. And I don't disagree that it's not, that it isn't the best time to take on a project like this. I think it's something that should continue to be at the top of, sort of the agenda going forward at some point. I think it's necessary, if nothing else, just to regain the water sales.
And that's why I said we need to be doing something on meters, whether it's this or...
Water fund is, it's a pittance that, that you can't even cover its own cost. That's just something that has to be addressed. So, this seems to be the only way to at least start to do that at some point. But that'll be, up to you guys down the road. But I think it's important. I just think given, still don't know what's going on with the sewer plant, any of that. There's just a lot of uncertainties right now. But it's important.
it's important, but it's not a priority, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Yeah, that's what I tried to say in a lot of words.
I just think we're doing due diligence, checking to see. Either way, we need to get those 50 or 100 meters. The 50 that aren't working or we don't even have there, we need to get some from there.
Oh, I agree with that, but
And I just, thinking about this, nothing hurt looking at it to see what it would cost and, because it sucks having our, linemen out there, making linemen's wages walking and checking meters, so.
Quite a bit of good has come out of this, as far as the investigation into it so far. But the one thing that we absolutely wanted to make sure was that if we're going to buy water meters, that the meters that we buy at least could be upgraded. And we can't really make that absolutely solid decision unless you would know a vendor that we're going to use. But as we got through this, the vendor that folks use is this Dakota Supply Group, and we likely would buy their meters as being upgradable into their radio read at some point. But that's the same type of meter that we bought before, so.
So we're just gonna buy what we need as we need them.
We'll probably buy the 50 regular generator,
And they'll get
generator remote. Yep, that's a work goal for the year, so yeah, it has to be.
Are we gonna set a goal so many per month, or check up on this to make sure that they're getting done as their priority on which ones we want?
Yeah, we'll
first.
we'll actually go through and work out the priority list too, to know that there are certain ones that need to be done.
So then next budget, when we start talking about the next budget, it'll be, those 50 meters were installed. That's what we're gonna hear, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, better. Right.
Jack know that?
Oh, yeah. You've had that discussion?
I just think we did due diligence, just checking to see.
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
not-
Doesn't hurt to look.
That's what we did.
We didn't have 3 ice storms in 1 year, probably helped.
3, it keeps growing.
Well, we had the one in December, the one in January, and then the one last
Oh,
November.
what in December?
Or was that just a really bad winter storm?
Go warning, go warning. How am I doing, Tom?
I'm just trying to take this one. It's only been an hour.